guys, so my name is 𝗠𝗶𝗰𝗿𝗲, the founder of Voice Out Minds, and you're welcome back again to Voice Out Minds channel. And today we're going to be talking about our VOMs life experience series episode 3. So if you have missed the first episode and the second episode, you can actually check it in our playlist. Make sure you don't miss out. So guys, on this episode we had the opportunity to host Mrs Modupe Abu all the way from Edo State, Nigeria, with the assistance of my co-founder 𝗠𝗶𝗰𝗿𝗍𝗶 who co-hosted the show. On this episode, Mrs Modupe Abu had the opportunity to share with us how she got married and gave birth just 9 months after the wedding, with a beautiful son, a cute, amazing, smart kid. Then just after 2 years, her husband got into a fatal accident which changed their life drastically, and that was how it all began. So I won't be telling you about the story. I want you to watch yourself. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and make sure to comment. We want to hear from you, your thoughts, your experience, what you feel about this, or is there something you want us to know? Make sure to comment. We'll be looking out for that. So stay tuned. I'll see you at the end of the video. So we're going to quickly go into the show today. We would like you to share your story. I want to know how it all happened, how you have been able to cope with everything that has been going on, and where you are now. Like, just tell us everything about you, ma'am.
Oh, well, my pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invite.
You're welcome, ma'am.
My story is very long, but I'm just going to give the points.
Yeah,
So I don't want to.
Hi, ma'am.
We are talking about my husband, not when I was a baby.
Okay.
Well, my husband, I got married in 2016, March 28th. So, and we had a small wedding. So, what is a pastor? And after our marriage, we initially had children immediately. But fortunately, or unfortunately, before that, I was already pregnant with my son. So my son actually arrived exactly 9 months after we got married. It was a very welcome blessing. But that the accident happened after our marriage. He was to travel. He was from Benin to Asaba. Look at the Lagos Express Road. And because they said it was a mechanical fault. What happened was anyway, but it fell off the road. Unfortunately, it fell off the road at a point where it was very deep down. In fact, from the road, when you look down to the accident scene, you could actually see the top of trees before. So it was really dark, some salted and it was a church bus, which means everybody was packed. My sister was playing the bus as well. But by the time the bus got to the bottom, it was so damaged, and one person died. It was also a person who died in the spot. So that was the beginning of the journey.
Okay, he was in the hospital for the fractures, but then on Tuesday morning, he went into coma, and initially we were not sure what was wrong. The doctors were not certain whether it was the fractures, but they knew he had sustained a brain injury for him to go into coma, but they were not certain how, because he only had a slight scrape on his head, but he didn't really, and he was conscious all through. He wasn't showing any sign of not understanding or unconsciousness, so they were not so sure what happened to cause the coma initially. It was later on they realized that he had lost a lot of blood from the fractures. So my husband had broken both legs, and he also injured. He also had a lot of scrapes on his right side, his eyes, his arm, and he broke the right leg and the left leg. He broke both legs.
After the accident happened, he was hospitalized at the University of Teaching Hospital. Initially, he was conscious and he was able to talk. He was, of course, he was very weak and looked different, but he was awake and conscious. But about 2 days after was when he went into coma. And I can remember that morning because they didn't allow us to sleep in the ward. They said we have to stay outside. So we didn't have anywhere to go, so we actually just stayed our mat on the floor and then we slept outside on the floor. So when we got up the next morning, I remember entering into the ward and I saw a crowd of people around this bed and I was wondering what happened. And when I got closer, I was completely the accident made him a little bit different because of the cars, injuries, but next one it was almost one. He had tubes everywhere and then actually literally trying to figure out what was wrong. People were asking each other, what happened? What happened? What happened? So I was asking what happened, but obviously they didn't even know what happened. So they already answered me. And that was the beginning of the journey. That day was the day that our whole lives took very different turn. In the book, I said that when I was told that he had an accident, I had accidents before. I don't know if he had an accident before. For me, I have had like 2 or 3 accidents. So when I heard that he had an accident, my mind is just like, okay, he had an accident. We all have accidents and then walk away from the accidents. The highest thing is how maybe scratch our body. Yeah, seriously happened. But that was the point that I knew that this was not just going to be an accident that we just spoke about the next day. It was setting them. But even at that point, I was still holding on to hope that somehow by the next day everything would get better. When the doctor said it was in coma, my understanding of coma was what you do now. When somebody's in coma, it's the person wakes up and then he begins to talk and move like that. So the doctor said he wasn't breathing. Of course, it was obvious he wasn't breathing. Because you could see him struggling for breath, struggling for breath. So he said, I need a ventilator. And so I was thinking, once we get a ventilator and he can breathe, it's fine. But it wasn't. So at the end of the day, even with the ventilator and everything, it was still very, very difficult. And so at that point that I knew that this was not going to be a normal situation. Something had changed. It was something very important. And I didn't grasp it fully at then, but I just knew that this was journey was not going to be just like any other journey that. And so after he was hospitalized in the ICU for 2 weeks, he wasn't responding at all, and he began to have a shock. In the first week, he did about 9 pints of blood, which was a lot because he kept losing blood. He also had a lot of issues medically, but how it affected me was the consistent realization that they're praying, they're expecting, but things seem to be getting worse. So at first I was handling it, people would come and go, wow, you are so strong, you're not bothered by the fact, even when my mother is okay, now my husband's mother. She came and was crying, and I told her, since this accident happened, so don't cry. I don't think I cried. I wasn't crying. I was thinking just going to be over, just so I wasn't really crying. I guess they were like, oh, she's very strong until we got to the breaking point, which was not the exceptional state. But initially, I just felt all we had to do was just wait and time would solve everything. So that was how the accident happened and the initial stages of his injury.
Wow. Wow. I don't know if I can ask something to say.
Well, it's really a touching story, and I really, I'm really sorry for what happened. I'm really sorry for everything. We feel your pain. We share your pain as well. And as it is now, though we know that the journey hasn't been easy. Being all alone with your husband and going through all that. We know that it hasn't been easy, and we are actually here, and it's one of our main focus, one of our main goals to reach out to ask how we can be of help in one way or the other, so that we can make things easy for ourselves and for you as well. And we are glad that you are on this platform. At least some people can actually, so many people here now watching you can actually gain one or two things actually from your strength. I actually gain one thing, your strength. Like it's actually encouraging. So I would say well done, and we will definitely find a way, or to help to help you in this situation. So thank you for sharing your story once again. Olajumalo, back to you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you so much. I don't know if the viewers have any questions for you, but I do personally have a question. So I would like to know, you mentioned that your husband is a pastor. So I would like to
Yeah.
know in faith related way. Did it in any way affected your faith? Like so many people in situations like that, like really give up and like at least serving God. Why did God allow this to happen? Why was he sitting there watching all this happen? I want to know, was that the same thing in your own case? Did you feel that way? And how have you been able to cope with that?
Oh well, I definitely felt that way. Like, at the beginning stage, I didn't feel that. I was hopeful that God was going to intervene. You know, as the months came, weeks became months, I got to a point. I remember the first time I questioned God in a different hospital. I had to move from UBTH to the West because UBTH went on strike. So, and then he was still a bit unresponsive. He was still in coma anyway. They advised that I shouldn't be, but I did everything I could. I did wasn't really there. So when I moved him, when I moved him from there to a different hospital, and I was hoping that there better, considering the fact that I'm in a private sector. But one night, the neurologist with the neurosurgeon came from Lagos to see him, and he told me then that they had done all they can, and then this was about 3 months after the accident. He was still feeding through a tube, and he still had the tube in his throat to help breathing. And he had ulcers, pressure ulcers, and all the rest. And they said they were going to send him home. I was like, how will you send him home like this? It's not well. And now when I realized that he was not going to come home well. It was not like the accident happened, he got sick, and then when we are, so it means that now we are going home but still sick. And I remember the neurosurgeon telling me that when he saw his scan, because we had to invite him from Lagos to the state, he said when he saw his scan, because he had to send his scan to him first, that he knew the type of injury, because the brain he was looking at was not the brain of a 33-year-old. My husband was 33, about 33 then. Was not the brain of a 33-year-old man, but it was the brain of a 70-year-old man. That is, it had shrunk and it had become much different. They call it atrophy. That's the medical term. So that he is not expecting a full recovery, so he's not even expecting more recovery, but that he just has to lose it like that. So I didn't say anything, and he left. He came back and said that he doesn't want to be a doctor that just gives bad news, but he's trying to be open, but he wants me to believe, to have faith and believe that he in his medical practice, he has seen miracles. So he didn't want to leave me on that negative note. So he left. I was angry because he came back and mentioned faith. So that was the point I started getting angry with God. And I walked out of the hospital, and it was night, and I was looking outside up, and I was like, God, is something wrong with you? Are you going to allow me to remain like this? Because I was thinking in my mind that there is no way an old man can ever get young. It doesn't happen. No matter the miracle, as in somebody who is about 70 years all of a sudden become the young person he was again. So that example that he used just stuck in my mind, and I was imagining somebody who is old, who is unable to do things, all of a sudden becoming young again. And that's when it occurred to me that this is not an illness that will just pass today or tomorrow. And so I was looking up and I was saying, God, please, you cannot allow this to happen. You have to do something. In fact, I told him I was going to give you a timeline, and if you don't do something by then, this is going to be a very serious problem between both of us. You just have to intervene. So at that point that I started expecting God to do something. And as each day passed, the expectation was not met. I got frustrated. But I had friends around that tried to encourage me, and most times when they talk about it, I actually felt better. My faith was straight. So from that period, for about a year after, I was fluctuating. Some days I was like having faith and like, oh, God can do something. And apart from even a miracle, I was believing that God had a plan, God had a purpose, He knows what's going on. But some days I wake up and I'm so angry and angry with God. You know, if I hear somebody quoting the Bible, you know, when people come and console you or come and visit, they say things like, God is going to do it, and some days I'm just ready to slap the person, but I just keep quiet and say, okay, no problem, thank you, ma'am, thank you, sir. But some days I was good. But I actually got to the breaking point when I traveled with him to India. I guess, you know, when there's no support, when there's no family, when there's no friends around, it is much more easier for our minds to just go off. And when I spent about a month with him in India, because it was just me, I had to do all the carrying and all the movements and everything. And even he was still not fully conscious then. When all throughout the plane ride, everybody was worried that he wasn't going to actually get there safely because he was half conscious, and I still had to be carrying him everywhere. And we didn't stay in the hospital. We stayed outside the hospital, so we had to be going for treatment so and so. It wasn't easy, and because of that, I mean, I felt because of the alienation from family and friends, nobody there was there to talk to me about God anymore, about strength or faith, and so I kept dwelling with myself, and the anger with God kept growing. And I guess I got to breaking point. That was when I began the book. I got to breaking point that night, and I told God that I don't think you can actually do anything, because if you could, you would have. Why don't you do something? And so I was so angry. And normally when I expressed that, I hardly do it very well. Even at that early stage when he wasn't really hearing us, I hardly talked discouragement where he was, because I felt that maybe there's a sense that perceives it. Let me not just make him feel as if, because my greatest fear throughout all this actually is, even if I break down, I don't want him to feel as though he's a burden to us, as though maybe we are tired or we are sad or something. So anytime we are around him, I just positive. Even when the illness had not, when he was still in the stage where he was completely unconscious or unaware, let me know his word unconscious, he was opening his eyes and closing it, but it was obvious that he was not aware of what was around. Unlike now, sometimes he holds our gaze, sometimes he makes some sounds, so we kind of guess that sometimes he knows what's going on. So, but that day was the first day that I was actually waiting around in front of him and telling him, my husband, God doesn't care about you. No, this situation is not going to end well. Everything is just so terrible. God is unfair. God is wicked. And he didn't respond anyway, but that was the first time and probably the last time that I exploded in front of him and let him actually experience the emotions. But after that prayer, after that session, I don't know whether it was prayer, because I was talking to God but not really talking with him. I read a book, The Insanity of God. I was listening to a video on my phone and somebody told a story from the book. So I ordered the book on Amazon that day in India, and then I read the book. And the book talked about a lot of stories of people that had faith and they were in difficult situations. I read of women who their children were killed before their eyes for doing religious persecution, and yet they remained faithful. I read of people who had nothing to eat, nothing to drink for days just because they were willing to serve God. As I was telling myself, you think you have seen trouble in this life, you haven't seen anything, and you're already willing to give up. And I felt God telling me through those people's experiences that things are hard, yes, but people have gone through it, but there's nothing new that you are going through, and you have a lot to be grateful for, because you are not in this situation, and you are yet to feel yours is worse than that. You feel I'm not intervening at all. And so that was the point where I knelt down and I prayed and I took, okay, I'm sorry, I'm willing to leave everything in your hand. I now know medically that it may not go the way I expect, but while I'm expecting a miracle, I don't mind if it remains like this. I'm willing to trust you, and as long as you keep giving us daily strength. And that's when I decided to write my own experience. Probably somebody somewhere too will feel so down and depressed and ready to give up, and read it or see it and actually feel encouraged. So I really had struggles with faith then, but I cannot say since that point I've not struggled. But it has never been that deep, intense, and it has never been so long. God has always caught me before I fell off the edge. And I can say too that when I struggled with faith more was when I also struggled with depression. In fact, I got to a point where I would cross the road and I wouldn't even like cross the road. In fact, I would leave the hospital and get to my house without even knowing, without having any recollection of having left the hospital. It would just be as if somebody woke me up and I'm at home and I'll be like, how many, what's happening? So I was becoming confused. I was having time gaps. I would sleep in the night and wake up 30 minutes later, and it would be as if the whole day didn't happen. It would be as if I'm not aware of the accident. I would be a bit confused. Sometimes I would be crossing the road and I would be hearing voices telling me, oh, just step in front of the next trailer. What's the point? No, just take one step now and everything will just be over. And I will find myself contemplating it in a way that I never thought I would have contemplated. These people talk about depression and suicide. I would never think that I would be somebody that would ever think I should take my life for any reason. But the point where I was spiritually low was the point where those thoughts were amplified. But the point where I got to the part where I said, God, just take control, whatever happens. And then it began to feel a little better. And also when I talked with friends about it, when I was able to finally tell somebody that this thing is getting out of hand, I wake up in the night and I'm thinking of different ways to kill myself, which is better, knife or fire or, but at those points, what stopped me, I think I would have done it a long time ago, if not because of my son. I kept thinking about my son. Like, I now know that his dad was not going to be up to par, at least for the next few years, or who knows how long. And then who's going to take care of him? So it was my son that brought me from the edge each time. But when I actually spoke to somebody about it, and he responded with understanding, because I think I was feeling that if I say it out that I'm trying to kill myself, I think he's not going to think maybe she's faithless or she's terrible or something. Either they're going to judge. Of course, because I've been in situations where somebody actually kills themselves and everybody's like, oh, this person is so stupid. Is it because of that little thing that we judge, we condemn, from that point, I try not to engage those kind of discussions, because I realize that when you are depressed, there is for somebody to cross the line to attempt to take his life shows the extent of mental pain the person is going through, and you may not understand. You may feel that the situation is so small, just because of that little thing, he failed jam and killed himself, but the mental pain had to be so much for the person to cross that line. And I realized from my own experience that it takes friends and it takes the grace of God to go through that. And I know I've overcome the mental. Of course, I still feel bad a lot of times. I cannot say I no longer feel bad. I still spend nights crying once in a while. I still wish that it has never happened. Sometimes I read people's stories and they are like, if they could take away their challenges, they wouldn't, because they have learned a lot from it, so they are grateful for it. I am not grateful for it. Sure, if I could take it away, I would take it away in the blink of an eye. I would not want my husband to go through this, regardless of the lessons I've learned. I don't want to go through it at all. Neither do I want my husband to go through it. But I have learned that in life, everybody has a cross to bear. If it is not one, it is the other. And while I cannot say I'm happy for my cross, I can say that I'm happy for the strength that God has given us to go through, and the provisions and things that God has put in place to make sure it did not overwhelm us, even though sometimes my mind felt as if I was going to drown in it. I wake up in the morning. Every morning I wake up and I say, God, change the situation today. In as much as I've accepted that it's a situation that may last a little longer, but every day I still pray, God, take away the burden. Let the things just change. And while I'm hopeful, but I'm grateful to God that my faith was able to grow with time. And I was able to go past the stage of annoyance with God, from pleading to annoyance, and I thank God, it's just God, because we could have let go a long time ago, but God keeps giving strength each day.
So thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much, ma. I'm very sure that the viewers have learned so much from you. Just as Akinwumi said, your strength is something to admire, and I must really commend that. Like, God really blessed you with that strength. Well,
Amen.
there's one thing you mentioned that I would really like to emphasize on is about when people complain about suicide or when people try to voice out their minds, and other people are like, what is it? It's not just small. I mean, why would you not be feeling bad? Like, things like that. I would like to really correct that to viewers listening to us now, that you might have someone going through something around you, or you might not even know the person personally, or you know the person personally. No matter what it is that the person is going through, you don't have to say things like it's in your head, or you're just thinking about it that way, or what is it? Just like share up, shake your body, shake it off, or these things are just small things, so it is not right to say. Things like that are not right to say. See, the level of pain a person is experiencing is not a competition. Somebody's problem might be small, while someone else is big. But the person with a big problem might be able to handle it more than the person with a little problem. That doesn't negate their feelings. That doesn't mean that that person is weak, or that person is senseless, or that person is foolish. No, everybody's feelings are different, and it is not a competition. You can't compare the level of pains of someone to another person. So let's please try to encourage people that are around us
I
not.
mean, sorry, ma. If
Yes,
you are in the same situation, even if you've gone through the same situation, doesn't mean that you know how the person is expected to feel. Even
exactly.
if two people go through the same situation, then people respond to it differently, and there are a lot of background things that affect the way someone responds to the situation. So even as I am now, I can't see somebody going through something and say, "Ah, I know that I don't happen to me before." You move
Yeah.
on. Don't worry. You can't do that because your response to it is different from the person's response to it. Even if two people lose their husbands, each response is different because one person may have a different relationship with the husband before the husband died from the other one. So when the person is responding based on that relationship, you cannot expect that, oh, I thought people are overcoming before and are you the first person? Those attitude doesn't really help the person. Because for me, what helped me was the understanding I got from the person I spoke and the encouragement afterwards. The fact that, oh, your feelings are valid. In fact, if I'm you, I probably may feel that way. But let's move forward. How do we go? What can I do to help you? And then we had a lot of sessions that helped me to be able to get beyond that stage. So I think what you're saying is very important. We should not dismiss people's feelings, but rather we should try to empathize and see what they need.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much, ma. We are really, really grateful once again that you joined us in this live
Thank you.
session. Thank you so much. And we would like to encourage other people to please speak up, share your story. She actually mentioned something that you came across a person that shared that story through a book on Amazon, and you bought the book, and that really inspired you and motivated you to move to keep going. So it helps a lot of people when you speak out, when you share your story. It actually motivates and inspire others listening out there. You might not know, but when you talk about it, when you speak out about it, other people listening might be like, wow, wow, okay, I think I'm strong enough to go ahead. Like things like that. So please let's endeavor or try to share our story. So Akinwumi, back to you.
Right. All right. I actually gained something as well from what she said. She mentioned that she actually spoke out to a friend that actually gave her some kind of advice that helped her and the kind of encouragement she needs. Though in this present world that we are now, some people actually find it hard to confide in people, to speak out to people
Yeah.
just because they might feel that, okay, if I speak out to this person might end up condemning me or might feel that, okay, or might even mock me. So people are so afraid to talk, and at the end of the day, they will prefer not saying anything. They will carry the burden alone, and at the end of the day, it will result to probably taking their lives or something. So to prevent such, I believe the step you took was the very right step, because you actually had the strength to, to talk to a friend, and thank God the friend was a very good one that actually gave you the right advice and the kind of strength you need. So I actually like the fact that you were able to speak out. Though not everybody has that strength. Not everybody has that strength, to voice out, to talk. Some people can be so weak to the extent that they might be so comfortable with their burden, not saying it out. But which is what you are saying now, that it's not really okay enough, to bear the burden alone. You can share the burden, talk to people. Though you might talk to like 5 people, but you might not really expect the 5 of them to give you the kind of response you want. But at least one of them would give you the kind of response that will calm your mind, that will suit you. So it's actually worth trying, to speak out, because it helps a lot. So I really appreciate you for enlightening us with your story, and we are really grateful for that. Is there any question you want to ask again, Olajunwa?
No.
Okay. So right now, we got to know that you published a book. So, and we would like to support you in that area, and though afterwards to still support you in some other areas as well. But for the books now, I would say from the VOMs pause, we would pay for 20 copies of the book, and wish you can, wish you're welcome, wish you can distribute to any of your followers out there. So, though this is not the end. This is not the end. So we will add you to our support list. So anytime we can actually reach out to you can actually reach out to your family to help you out in one way or the other, in anyhow we know we can help you. So that will be done as well. And though we are a small group, though, and we are hoping to become big through the help of God. And but with this, I feel we should start from this, and over time, then we will know other ways to, to help.
Guys, welcome back. Welcome back. That was a really tough, emotional session. And I'm so sure most of us have learned one or two things from what Mrs Modupe Abu has shared with us. See, from what she talked about, from what she shared with us, I would like to just point out two things. I like the fact that she spoke up, she shared her mind, even when depression started to set in and suicidal thoughts. She spoke out, she voiced out her mind. That was a really impressive move. And I also like the fact that she believed in sharing her story to inspire and impact people, even when she's not at the point where she wants to be. That is really great and inspiring. We have to give it up to Mrs. Modupe Abu. She's a really strong, amazing woman. God bless her and her family. So guys, please, if you would like to support Mrs. Modupe Abu, she's a writer and she has produced 3 books on Amazon. The link will be posted in our description section. Just make sure to click on it and support her. It is really affordable. Thank you. God bless you. Also, we would like to add Mrs. Modupe Abu to our support list, our family support list. We always you have a list of families that we support. So please, if you'd like to donate, if this resonates with you, we want you to donate to our foundation. Please help us, support us. Without you, we can't do this alone. So please donate to our foundation. Let's be able to help these families on our support list. The link or the donation link and account number will be posted in the description box below. God bless you. We are super grateful and thanks for always. So thank you so much guys for watching. See you next time. Bye.